Macmillan Audio presents The Perfect Liar by Thomas Christopher Greene. Read for you by Tavia Gilbert. The first note. Much later, what Susannah will remember about that morning is the rain, that warm May rain, how it felt on her bare arms when she ran, how it matted her long ginger hair to her head, how it smelled like freshly cut grass, how it sounded falling in sheets off the roof of the empty house. Outside of the rain, the morning was quite ordinary. A Tuesday, the spring of 2014. Her husband Max was in Chicago giving a talk at the Art Institute. Freddie, her son, overslept slightly and then scarfed down 3 bowls of cereal before running out the door with his backpack on and his skateboard under his arm, barely stopping to say goodbye before stepping out into the rain. Susannah was left with the whole day, as big and as empty as a lake in front of her. She made herself a cappuccino with an espresso machine that she and Max had recently bought and that they were in love with. They wondered how they had lived without it. It was like being a barista without any of the fuss or the mess. After, she sat on the screened-in back porch and sipped her coffee and watched the rain. The large green backyard was lined with peonies about to bloom. So beautiful, she thought. And Susannah looked at them and then back into the house, to the wide rooms with the polished wood floors, and she sighed pleasantly, and not for the first time, as if remembering the whirlwind of good fortune that had led the 3 of them to this grand old house on a hill above Lake Champlain in Burlington, Vermont, 9 months before. Sometimes life changes in an instant, doesn't it? One minute she's a single mom, and then she meets an amazing man who literally rocks her world. And then his career, surprising both of them, takes off like a red-hot rocket. It felt like yesterday that she was introducing him to her boss at the gallery, and within months, Max's handsome mug is on the cover of all the important art magazines. The challenge was that he didn't really make anything. The heart of his work was his ability to talk, so there was no obvious way to monetize it. The irony was that now you could become an art world star and not sell paintings for millions of dollars. It was less about what you made than who you were. Max gave a TED Talk that went viral. No one had ever talked about art this way before. He was in demand to give it everywhere. Shortly thereafter, a number of universities called with luxurious job offers. Vermont was the obvious choice. Kansas sounded dreadful. Who wants to live in Kansas? Max wondered. And so did the offer from the university in Atlanta, with all the imagined heat and the lack of seasons. But the clincher was when, in the small galley kitchen in their apartment in the village, Max said, "Here's the best part, Susannah. Look at this." He pulled out his phone and showed her the picture of this house. It was stunning. The kind of house she never imagined she would live in. "They give us this house," he said. "Give it to us?" "Well, give is a strong word, but it's a 3-year appointment, and it's ours during that time." Susannah shrieked. A real one, shrieked and hugged him hard. Hugged him for his charm and talent, for how much people gravitated to him and wanted to see whatever he wanted to happen, how he could will things into being. But she also hugged him because 3 years sounded beautifully long enough to get Freddie out of the city through high school. The thought of him no longer vanishing into Union Square Park with a skateboard and a hacky sack, and into the vast city where the lines between childhood and adulthood were often blurred, was almost enough to make Susannah giddy. She stood and moved off the porch and into the wide-open living room, and then into the kitchen, where she left her coffee mug in the sink next to the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?